Okay, welcome to this tutorial. Today we'll be learning logical reasoning. So under the logical reasoning, we'll need to learn that the student will learn how to define logical reasoning, identify logical symbols and their notation, identify conditional, converse, inverse, contrapositive, biconditional statements, define truth table, and also state the laws of logical reasoning. So let's start with the first, which is to define logical reasoning. A logical reasoning is a statement, either verbal or written, that is either true or false, but not both at the same time. So whenever something is true or false, we call it logical reasoning. It is either a simple or compound statement. So a simple statement is a statement with only one main verb, while a compound statement contains more than one simple statement. A compound statement makes use of logical symbols called connectives. So when we join two simple statements to form a compound statement, we use what we call connectives. So these are some connectives. The first one is conjunction, and the symbol is this. So that's the symbol. Disjunction or negation or not, that's the symbol, like symbol of similarity. Implication, that's the symbol, that's implies. By implication or if and only if, that's the symbol. And finally equivalent, that's the symbol. So let's look at this question. They said, for example, they say let P, that's the first statement, the first simple statement, I like ginger in tea. YQ, I like bread with egg. They now ask us to translate I like bread with egg but not ginger in tea into symbol. So in this case, I like ginger and I like bread. That's the first statement is P, which is I like ginger, while the second one, I like bread with egg. But they now ask us to answer will be Q, and that's Q is the first one, I like bread, and negation, that's not the opposite of I like ginger in tea. So that's the answer. I like ginger is P. I don't like ginger in tea is now the negate. That's not P. So that's it. That's the symbol. As you can see, look at the table. Negation, see, not negation. So do you see the symbol? This, that's the symbol. So why the second one, they say let A, every left footer is a good footballer. Why B, Ebuka is a left footer. They now ask us which of the following statement is true. So let's check. They said every left footer is not a good footballer. Not is wrong, because we want to relate the first statement and the second one. They say Ebuka is not a good footballer. The third one, they say Ebuka is a good footballer. While the fourth one, they say some left footers are not good. So they didn't talk about some left. What they talked about was every left footer is a good footballer. And we now have Ebuka is a left footer. Common sense will now tell you that since Ebuka is a left footer, Ebuka will be a good footballer, because they said every left footer is a good footballer. So our answer is C. So the answer is C. So look at this one. They said let A, Ebuka is intelligent. The second statement, Adobe is intelligent. They now ask us what is the symbolic representation of Ebuka and Adobe are intelligent. Say Ebuka and Adobe, meaning A is for Ebuka, the first statement, and B is for Adobe. And they say both of them are intelligent and not all. So that's it. So that's the answer. Why this one? They say consider the following statement. The sky is blue That's B is the statement the sky is blue. C is the statement the grass is green. They now ask us what is the symbolic representation of the grass is not green and the sky is blue. So the grass is C, grass is green is C, but they said not green, so we negate C. And we write our symbol, which is this, and the sky is blue, which is B. So that's it. That's our answer. So it's very simple. Okay, we are on conditional statements. A conditional statement is a statement that uses if as a connective. So whenever you see if in a statement, no, it's a conditional statement. It is a statement that the second statement determines the result of the first one. So the second statement or the is called the consequence or conclusion, determines the result. So that second statement is the major thing that determines how true the statement is. So in any conditional statement, the first statement is called the antecedent or the hypothesis, while the second statement is called the consequence or conclusion. So have you seen it? The second one is the major statement. That's the consequence or conclusion. For instance, I will pass my exam if I study hard. Do you see? I will pass my exams if I study hard. So we have two statements. I will pass my exams and I study very hard. So do you see now? The first statement is connected to the second one using if. So I will pass my exam is the antecedent. Why I study very hard is the consequence. So any conditional statement, the second statement or the consequence or the conclusion is the major statement that determines how the result will come out, how true it will be. So we do it more in truth table. So let's look at another statement. So we have what we call inverse statements. An inverse statement is a statement gotten from a conditional statement. So the inverse statement is also a conditional statement, such that both the antecedent and the consequence are negated. So if you have a conditional statement, let's say P implies Q, that's a conditional statement. And if you negate both of the consequence and the antecedents, we have an inverse statement. Do you see? So the ones highlighted, negative P implies negative Q, is the inverse statement. That is the inverse statement. So why we have contrapositive statements? A contrapositive statement is a statement gotten from a conditional statement by interchanging the antecedents and the consequence, and also negating the both. So if you notice that if you interchange the consequence and the hypothesis or the antecedent, and after you negate it, as you can see, CP implies Q, the one highlighted, is a conditional statement. Then negative Q implies negative P, is now the contrapositive statement. So we interchanged and also we negated. So that's what we call contrapositive statement. So we have what we call converse statement.